What if the chaos swirling in your life isn't tearing you apart, but calling you to become who you were always meant to be? Imagine standing at a crossroads. Your old world feels like a fading photograph. Friendships drift like leaves in the wind, and a restless whisper in your soul says, "There's more out there." Does that sound like you? If it does, you're not unraveling, you're awakening. Welcome to Daily Stoic Habits, where we uncover timeless wisdom to guide your journey to a truer self. Today, we're diving into 9 powerful signs your soul is rising, hidden truths an ancient sage revealed to light your path. This ancient sage, a master of the human spirit, didn't just explore the mind, he charted the soul's sacred map. Picture your life as a house you've lived in for years, comfortable but cramped, with walls you didn't build. Now, those walls are trembling, cracks letting in light you've never seen before. That unease, that tug in your heart, it's not a collapse. It's your soul stirring, urging you to step into a bigger, bolder version of yourself. Awakening isn't always soft and serene. It's raw, electric, sometimes heavy with questions. Why do old routines feel like cages? Why do conversations you once loved now ring hollow? Because your soul is outgrowing the life you've outworn. This sage taught us that transformation begins in the mess, in the moments that feel like endings but are really beginnings. In this video, we're unveiling 9 unmistakable signs that your soul is ascending, drawn from the sage's timeless insights. From the weight of inner turmoil to the magic of moments that feel fated, these signs are your soul's way of saying, you're ready for the truth. Here at Daily Stoic Habits, we're passionate about helping you live with purpose and courage, so smash that subscribe button, hit like, and ring the bell to join our tribe of seekers. Don't miss a single moment of this soul-shifting journey. So where does this awakening begin? It starts with a pain that feels like chaos, but holds a sacred secret. Let's step into the fire and discover the first sign your soul is rising. Sign 1. Awakening. Pain. You're going about your day, but something feels off, like a storm brewing inside your chest. Maybe it's a wave of confusion that hits out of nowhere, or a heaviness that makes even your favorite routines feel pointless. Sound familiar? Welcome to the first sign your soul is rising. The awakening pain. Here at Daily Stoic Habits, we're diving into the raw, beautiful truth of what it means to awaken, guided by the wisdom of an ancient sage. This pain isn't your enemy. It's your soul's wake-up call, and it's time to listen. This ancient sage, a master of the human spirit, taught that when your soul begins to stir, it doesn't always feel like peace or clarity. Instead, it often arrives as discomfort, a gnawing sense that something's not right. Picture yourself standing in a room you've known your whole life, your job, your friendships, your daily grind, but suddenly the walls feel too tight, the air too thin. You might feel restless, like you're itching to break free, or weighed down by emotions you can't explain. Why does this happen? Because your soul is starting to notice what the sage called the shadow, the hidden parts of you that you've ignored, pushed down, or pretended weren't there. This shadow isn't some dark, evil force. It's the truth you haven't faced, the fears, the doubts, the dreams you buried to fit in. When this awakening pain strikes, it might show up as a crisis, a breakup that shakes your world, a job loss that strips away your identity, or a quiet moment of dread that whispers, "Is this all there is?" You might feel like you're falling apart, like the life you built is cracking at the seams. But here's the secret the sage revealed. This isn't a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. That inner conflict, that strange discomfort with everything you used to love, it's not a sign you're broken. It's proof you're waking up. Your soul is shaking off the layers that kept you small, the roles you played to please others. It's like shedding an old skin, painful but necessary to reveal the real you underneath. The sage taught that this pain is the first step toward transformation. It's your psyche's way of saying, pay attention, something bigger is calling. You might notice you're no longer okay with things you used to tolerate, shallow small talk, toxic relationships, or routines that feel like a cage. This discomfort is sacred. It's the spark that lights the fire of change. But here's the catch. You have to face it. Running from this pain, Numbing it with distractions or pretending everything's fine only buries the shadow deeper. The sage urged us to look at the shadow, to sit with the confusion, the anger, the fear, and ask, "What are you trying to teach me?" That's where the magic happens. When you lean into this pain, you start to integrate the parts of yourself you've ignored, and that's when your soul begins to rise. Sign 2. Inner conflict. Have you ever felt like two versions of yourself are at war, pulling you in opposite directions? One part clings to the life you've always known, safe, familiar, predictable, while another part screams for something deeper, something real. If this tug of war is raging inside you, you're not going crazy. You're experiencing the second sign your soul is rising, inner conflict. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Habits, where we're peeling back the layers of your soul's awakening, guided by the timeless wisdom of an ancient sage. This battle within? It's not a curse, it's the sacred tension that births your true self. Imagine your mind as a battlefield. On one side stands the old you, the one who's mastered the art of fitting in, checking boxes, and keeping everyone happy. This version craves approval, security, the comfort of routine. It's the you who says, "Just stay the course, don't rock the boat." But on the other side, there's a new you emerging, fierce and untamed, whispering, "This isn't enough. You were made for more." This new self demands authenticity, freedom, a life aligned with your soul's deepest truth. And when these two forces collide, it feels like chaos. Your heart races, your thoughts spiral, and you wonder, why can't I just be content? The ancient sage taught that this isn't confusion, it's growth. Inner conflict is the crucible, where your soul is forged. This sage, a master of the human spirit, believed that all transformation happens through tension between opposites. Think of it like a rope stretched tight. The old self pulls toward safety, while the new self tugs toward truth. That tension hurts. It might show up as indecision. Should you stay in that job, that relationship, that city? Or it might feel like a deeper restlessness, a sense that the life you've built no longer fits who you're becoming. You might catch yourself staring out a window, wondering why the things that used to light you up, happy hours, promotions, social media likes, now feel hollow. This isn't a sign you're failing. It's proof you're alive, awake, no longer numb to the call of your soul. The beauty of this conflict, the sage revealed, is that it's sacred. It's not something to run from, but to embrace. Why? Because it means you're not settling anymore. You're feeling the stretch of growth, the ache of becoming. This inner war is your soul's way of saying, "I'm ready to step into my power." But here's the key. You have to stay with it. Distractions, scrolling, binge-watching, or pretending everything's fine, only prolong the battle. The sage urged us to sit in the tension, to ask, what does this conflict want me to see? Maybe it's showing you a truth you've avoided, like a dream you've buried or a fear you've let define you. When you face it, you start to bridge the gap between the old and new, weaving them into a stronger, truer you. Sign 3. Intense emotions. Ever find yourself crying for no reason, or feeling a rush of anger over something small, wondering, what's happening to me? If emotions are hitting you like waves, raw and unstoppable, you're not falling apart. You're waking up. This is the third sign your soul is rising. Intense emotions. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Habits, where we're unraveling the sacred journey of your soul's awakening, guided by the profound insights of an ancient sage. These feelings aren't a weakness. They're your soul's way of breaking free, and they're more powerful than you know. Picture your heart as a locked chest, stuffed with years of emotions you've pushed down to keep the peace. Grief you didn't have time for, anger you weren't allowed to feel, or shame you buried to fit in. Now as your soul stirs, that chest is cracking open, and everything you've held back is spilling out. The ancient sage taught that when you begin to awaken, your psyche doesn't just let these emotions sit. They rise to the surface, messy and unfiltered. You might feel a sadness that seems to come from nowhere, like a heavy fog rolling in. Or maybe you snap at a comment that would have rolled off you before, surprised by your own fire. These moments aren't regression. They're release, a cleansing your soul demands to make room for who you're becoming. Why does this happen? The sage explained that your unconscious stores everything you've suppressed. Childhood wounds, unspoken fears, guilt you've carried like a shadow. When your soul starts to rise, it refuses to let these stay buried. It's like a river breaking through a dam, flooding your life with feelings you didn't know you had. You might cry during a quiet moment, not sure why tears are falling, or feel a strange mix of joy and ache that leaves you breathless. This isn't emotional chaos, it's emotional truth. Your psyche is clearing out the clutter, letting you feel what's real so you can heal what's broken. Have you ever felt a weight lift after a good cry? That's your soul doing its work, integrating the pieces you've ignored for too long. The sage urged us not to fear this intensity but to embrace it. These emotions aren't here to hurt you. They're here to be seen, to be felt, to be loved. Running from them, through distractions or denial, only delays the healing. Instead, sit with the sadness, the rage, the fear. Ask, what are you showing me? Maybe it's a memory you need to forgive or a truth you need to claim. This process is messy, sure, but it's sacred. It's your soul reclaiming its voice, making space for a deeper, more authentic you. Every tear, every outburst is a step toward wholeness. Sign 4. Vivid dreams. Have you ever woken up from a dream so vivid it felt more real than your waking life? Maybe you were flying through a starlit sky or lost in a maze, heart pounding only to wake with a lingering sense that it meant something. If your dreams are turning strange, symbolic, and unforgettable, you're not just sleeping, you're awakening. This is the 4th sign your soul is rising. Vivid dreams. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Habits, where we're exploring the sacred path of your soul's transformation, guided by the timeless wisdom of an ancient sage. These dreams aren't random. They're your soul's secret language, and they're speaking loud and clear. Imagine your mind at night as a theater where the curtains part, revealing a stage no one else can see. The ancient sage taught that dreams are the royal road to your unconscious, a place where your soul communicates in symbols and stories your daytime mind might miss. When your soul begins to rise, your dreams shift. They become more vivid, emotionally charged, like messages carved in starlight. You might dream of falling, a sign your old sense of control is slipping, or of flying, a hint you're breaking free from limits. A dream of dying might jolt you awake, but it's not about fear. It's about transformation, your soul shedding an outdated version of you. These aren't just images. They're your psyche's way of guiding you through the chaos of awakening. Why do dreams turn so intense? The sage explained that as you awaken, your unconscious takes the lead, speaking when your conscious mind is quiet. Picture it like a friend who's been waiting to tell you something urgent, finally getting your attention in the stillness of sleep. You might see recurring symbols, a doorway signaling a new chapter, or a shadowy figure chasing you, urging you to face a hidden truth. These dreams aren't here to confuse you. They're a map drawn by your soul, showing you what's stirring beneath the surface. Ever wake up feeling like you've been somewhere else, carrying a truth you can't quite name? That's your unconscious at work, whispering insights to guide your journey. The sage urged us to honor these dreams, not dismiss them. Write them down, reflect on them, ask, what is this showing me? A dream of being lost might mirror your real-life disorientation, while one of soaring could echo your longing for freedom. These symbols are personal, unique to your story, and they carry the wisdom you need right now. By listening, you're not just dreaming, you're dialoguing with your deeper self, unlocking truths that light your path. This is your soul's art painting visions to help you grow. Sign 5. Sensitivity to energy. Ever walked into a room and felt the vibe shift, like an invisible current telling you something's off? Or maybe you've caught yourself sensing a lie before it's even spoken, your gut screaming, that's not right. If you're suddenly more attuned to the energy around you, you're not imagining things, you're awakening. This is the 5th sign your soul is rising, sensitivity to energy and truth. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Habits, where we're diving deep into your soul's transformation, guided by the profound wisdom of an ancient sage. This heightened awareness isn't a fluke. It's your soul tuning into a deeper frequency. Picture your intuition as a radio, once stuck on static, now picking up clear signals. The ancient sage taught that as your soul awakens, you become more sensitive to the unseen truths around you. It's like your inner compass has sharpened, cutting through the noise of lies, pretense, and toxicity. You might notice you can't stomach manipulation anymore. Whether it's a friend's subtle guilt trip or a coworker's fake smile, it hits you like a sour note. Conversations that once felt fine now drain you, especially if they're shallow or dishonest. Ever feel exhausted after being around certain people, like they're pulling at your energy? That's your soul rejecting what doesn't align with your truth. This sensitivity, the sage explained, is your deeper self coming alive. You're not just thinking your way through life anymore. You're feeling it, sensing it. You might pick up on unspoken tension in a room or feel a spark of truth in someone's words, even if they're holding back. It's as if your soul has grown eyes, seeing beyond the surface to the essence of things. This isn't about being overly emotional. It's about being awake to reality. You're harder to deceive, not because you're cynical, but because your intuition is now a guide, steering you toward what's real and away from what's false. The sage urged us to trust this inner knowing. Don't brush off that gut feeling, or ignore the chill you get around certain people. This sensitivity is your soul's strength, helping you navigate life with clarity. It's like a lantern in the dark, showing you who and what to trust. Embrace it even when it makes you feel exposed. It's proof you're aligned with a higher truth. Sign 6. Sacred isolation. Ever feel like the world around you is fading, like you're standing alone in a crowd, unseen, misunderstood? Maybe your friends don't get you anymore, or conversations that once sparked joy now feel like static. If you're pulling away from the noise of life, craving silence over connection, you're not breaking down, you're breaking through. This is the 6th sign your soul is rising, sacred isolation. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Habits, where we're uncovering the sacred steps of your soul's awakening, guided by the timeless wisdom of an ancient sage. This solitude isn't loneliness. It's your soul carving out space to meet its truth. Imagine your life as a bustling city you've navigated for years, full of familiar faces, routines, and chatter. But now, the streets feel too loud, the lights too harsh. You find yourself stepping back, seeking quiet corners where you can hear your own thoughts. The ancient sage taught that this withdrawal isn't a failure. It's a soul shift, a sign you're entering what he called sacred isolation. It's not about rejecting others, it's about your soul calling you inward, away from the collective hum of expectations and distractions. Have you noticed how small talk grates on you now? Or how you'd rather sit alone with a journal than force a smile at a party? That's your soul craving authenticity over belonging. This isolation, the sage revealed, is where your true self begins to emerge. It's like retreating to a forest where the silence lets you hear whispers you've ignored for years. You might feel invisible in social circles, or hear loved ones say, "You've changed." They're right, you have. Your soul is detaching from the roles you once played. The peacemaker, the entertainer, the one who always said yes. These were masks, built to fit in, but they no longer fit you. Friends may drift away, not because you're wrong, but because your energy is shifting. You're no longer vibrating on their frequency, and that's okay. The sage saw this as a necessary exile, a phase where you stop seeking validation from the crowd and start listening to the voice within. This solitude can sting. It might feel like you're losing everyone, like you're walking a path no one understands. But here's the truth. This is sacred ground. In this quiet, you reflect deeper, read with new eyes, journal thoughts that feel like revelations. You're not alone. You're with yourself, maybe for the first time. The sage likened this to ancient stories of heroes retreating to deserts or mountains, finding truth in silence. Your soul is doing the same, refining itself in the stillness, preparing you for a life rooted in truth. Sign 7. Inability to pretend. Ever tried to smile through a moment when your heart's screaming, "This isn't me anymore"? Maybe you're at a party, nodding along to jokes that don't land or biting your tongue to keep the peace, but your body rebels. Your throat tightens, your stomach churns. If you can't fake it like you used to, you're not losing control. You're stepping into truth. This is the 7th sign your soul is rising, the inability to pretend. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Habits, where we're unraveling your soul's awakening, guided by the profound wisdom of an ancient sage. This shift isn't a breakdown. It's your soul refusing to wear the mask. Picture yourself as an actor who's played the same role for years. The people pleaser, the overachiever, the one who always has it together. You knew the lines, the gestures, the perfect smile to keep everyone happy. But now the script feels wrong. The ancient sage taught that this moment, when pretending becomes impossible, marks a turning point. It's your soul rejecting the persona, the polished mask you've worn to navigate the world. That mask was useful once, helping you fit in, win approval, avoid conflict. But as your soul rises, it grows too tight, like a costume you can't wait to shed. Have you noticed how your voice shakes when you lie, or how your body feels heavy when you play along? That's your soul demanding authenticity. This inability to pretend, the sage explained, is the collapse of the false self. You might find yourself stumbling in conversations, forgetting how to play the part you once mastered. You can't laugh at what isn't funny, stay silent to avoid waves, or act happy when you're hurting. It's not that you don't want to, it's that you physically can't. Your soul is done performing. This can feel like a crisis. You question your career, your relationships, even your name. But it's not chaos. It's liberation. The sage saw this as a sacred unraveling, where the ego, the surface identity, cracks to let your deeper self shine through. You're not losing who you are. You're losing the illusion of who you thought you had to be. Embracing this shift means living raw, unfiltered. You start saying what you mean, even if it ruffles feathers. You walk away from roles that no longer fit, even if it confuses others. It's scary, sure, but it's also freeing. This is your soul claiming its voice, refusing to shrink for anyone else's comfort. The sage urged us to lean into this honesty, to let the mask fall, because that's where your true power lies, in being real, not perfect. Sign 8. Synchronicities ever. Notice the same number popping up everywhere, on a clock, a receipt, maybe a license plate, and felt a shiver like the universe is winking at you? Or maybe you thought of someone and they called you out of the blue. If life's starting to feel like it's dropping hints, you're not imagining it, you're awakening. This is the 8th sign your soul is rising. Synchronicities. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Habits, where we're exploring your soul's sacred journey, guided by the timeless wisdom of an ancient sage. These moments aren't just coincidences. They're your soul dancing with the universe. Picture the world as a vast tapestry, woven with threads you can't always see. The ancient sage taught that when your soul begins to rise, the boundaries between your inner world and the outer world thin, and meaningful coincidences, synchronicities, start to appear. It's like the universe is sending you postcards. A book falls into your hands answering a question you've carried for weeks. A stranger's words echo a dream you had last night. These aren't random, they're signs you're aligned with something bigger. Have you ever felt like life is speaking directly to you, nudging you toward a truth you're just starting to grasp? That's your soul tuning into a cosmic rhythm. The sage explained that synchronicities often surge during transformation, when your soul is shedding old layers and stepping into its power. You might see repeating numbers like 111 or 444, or notice symbols, like owls for wisdom or butterflies for change, following you. These are your psyche's way of saying, you're on the right path. They're not commands to act impulsively, like quitting a job because you saw a sign. Instead, they're affirmations, gentle nods that you're moving in harmony with your deeper self. The more you notice them, the more they appear, as if life is mirroring your awakening with a quiet, knowing smile. Trust these moments, the sage urged. Don't shrug them off as chance. Reflect on them, journal them, let them deepen your sense of connection to the world. They're proof you're not just living, you're participating in a larger story, where your soul and the universe are in conversation. Sign 9. Emergence of the higher self. Ever felt a quiet strength guiding you, like an ancient presence within that knows exactly who you are? It's not loud or flashy, but it's steady, grounding, making you feel whole in a way you can't explain. If you're sensing this inner light, you're not just growing, you're awakening to something profound. This is the 9th sign. Your soul is rising, the emergence of the higher self. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Habits, where we're unveiling the sacred steps of your soul's journey, guided by the timeless wisdom of an ancient sage. This isn't just a moment. It's your soul stepping into its fullest truth. Imagine your life as a long, winding road. For years, you've walked it wearing costumes, the achiever, the caretaker, the one who always says yes. But now those costumes feel heavy, like they belong to someone else. The ancient sage taught that this shift marks the rise of your higher self, the core of your being that isn't defined by roles or labels. It's not the voice chasing applause or approval. It's the quiet certainty that says, I am enough. Have you noticed you're less worried about what others think, more focused on what feels true? That's your higher self taking the lead, guiding you toward a life of alignment, not performance. This higher self, the sage explained, is the union of all you are, your light and shadow, your strength and vulnerability. It's like a lighthouse within, steady through any storm. You might feel it in moments of clarity, when you say no without guilt or choose a path because it resonates, not because it's popular. You're no longer driven by the need to prove yourself. Instead, you rest in being, trusting life's timing even when it's unclear. The world starts to feel connected, not chaotic. Obstacles become lessons, relationships feel like invitations, and even your pain carries meaning. Why? Because your higher self sees the bigger picture, weaving every experience into your soul's story. The sage urged us to embrace this presence, to live from this inner truth. You might feel moments of awe, like the universe is breathing through you, or tears rise for no reason, touched by something eternal. This is your soul recognizing itself as a spark of the divine, not separate from the sacred but part of it. It's not about perfection. It's about wholeness, holding life's paradoxes with peace. You've just walked through 9 powerful signs your soul is rising, from the raw ache of awakening pain to the quiet strength of your higher self. Can you feel it? That spark inside flickering brighter with every step you take. This journey, guided by the wisdom of an ancient sage, isn't just a checklist. It's a sacred path, a call to become who you were always meant to be. Welcome back to Daily Stoic Habits, where we're wrapping up this deep dive into your soul's awakening. You're not lost, my friend. You're evolving, and that's the most beautiful truth of all. Picture your life as a canvas, once painted, with colors others chose for you. Now your soul is picking up the brush, splashing bold, authentic hues across the frame. The chaos, the isolation, the moments that felt like endings, they were all part of a structured destruction, dismantling what was false to reveal what's eternal. The sage taught us that this path, though heavy at times, is luminous. Every tear, every question, every synchronicity is proof you're shedding illusions and stepping into your truth. Have you felt that shift, that quiet knowing that you're exactly where you need to be? That's your soul coming home, whispering, keep going. This journey isn't easy, but it's sacred. It's the privilege of a lifetime to uncover your true self, to live not for applause but for alignment. So, hold fast to these signs. Let them guide you through the fog, trusting that every step is leading you closer to wholeness. You're part of a timeless story, one the sage saw unfolding in every soul brave enough to awaken. Due to time constraints, we'll pause here. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it's offered even a small spark of insight, I'm deeply fulfilled. Save this video to your playlist to revisit whenever you need a reminder. Please like and share it with others. Sometimes, the right message at the right moment can change a life. And don't forget to subscribe to Daily Stoic Habits. Hit that bell and stay tuned for more transformative videos. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you soon.